Friends, if you are here to discover some of the most mysterious, remote, and unbelievable places in China, then you are definitely in the right place. Today, we are going beyond the famous cities and modern landmarks to explore hidden locations that look so incredible in photographs that many people assume they are digitally created or taken from another world. Most people recognize China because of cities like Beijing and Shanghai, enormous factories, futuristic skyscrapers, and spectacular glass bridges. But behind this modern image is another side of China, a world filled with ancient civilizations, traditional cultures, mysterious legends, and breathtaking natural landscapes that can leave anyone speechless. So today, get ready for a journey through some of China's most unusual and fascinating destinations, places that can feel more like dreams than reality. Imagine standing somewhere with no traffic, no towering buildings, and no crowded streets. Instead, there is only a calm river flowing quietly through an ancient town. This is Fenghuang Ancient Town in Hunan Province, surrounded by mountains and forests. Traditional wooden houses line the riverbanks, while old stone bridges connect the two sides of the town. Walking through its narrow streets can feel like stepping hundreds of years into the past. The local Miao and Tujia communities have preserved many of their traditional customs, clothing, architecture, and cultural practices. What makes the place even more fascinating is the question of how such an ancient atmosphere survived while the rest of the world changed so dramatically. The town's remote location and natural surroundings help protect it from outside influence for generations. And when night arrives, thousands of red lanterns illuminate the old buildings and reflect across the river, creating a scene that looks almost like a painting from an ancient story. But China's unbelievable locations do not end here. Our next destination takes us even higher, to a place where you can feel as though you are standing above the clouds. Imagine climbing thousands of stone steps through dense forests, while the temperature gradually drops and the surroundings become quieter. As you climb higher, clouds begin to gather beneath you until you suddenly find yourself looking across what appears to be an endless ocean of clouds. This is Mount Emei in Sichuan Province, one of China's most important sacred mountains. Its upper sections are often surrounded by mist, and near the summit stands a magnificent golden statue overlooking the mountains. Buddhist monks have worshipped and lived around this sacred landscape for centuries. Mount Emei is also famous for a fascinating optical phenomenon known as Buddha's light. Under certain conditions, visitors standing above the clouds can see their own shadow surrounded by a glowing circular halo. Although ancient traditions gave the phenomenon a spiritual meaning, scientists explain it as a natural optical effect created by sunlight, mist, and the observer's position. But if a sea of clouds is not enough to surprise you, our next destination offers an entirely different spectacle. Along the Yellow River in China's Shaanxi Province lies Hukou Waterfall, famous for its immense power and unusual golden-brown color. The waterfall gets its distinctive appearance from the enormous amount of sediment carried by the Yellow River. As the water rushes through the narrow section of the river, it creates an incredibly powerful roar, and the force can be felt throughout the surrounding area. During winter, ice can form across sections of the river, yet the powerful current continues moving beneath it. Now imagine a lake whose appearance can change dramatically depending on the time of day and weather conditions. Deep in Xinjiang, close to the Altai Mountains and the Kazakhstan border, lies Kanas Lake. Its water can appear green, turquoise, or deep blue depending on sunlight, weather, reflections, and minerals in the water. But the lake is famous for more than its changing appearance. Local communities have passed down stories for generations about a mysterious creature supposedly living beneath the surface. Some visitors have claimed to capture enormous shapes moving through the water. Scientists suggest that large fish or groups of fish could create such appearances, especially when viewed through mist or from a great distance. Whether there is truly something mysterious beneath the lake or not, the atmosphere becomes especially strange when thick morning fog covers the water and the lake begins reflecting different shades of color. From natural mysteries, let's move to an incredible achievement of ancient engineering. Around 1,200 years ago, near Leshan in Sichuan Province, several powerful rivers met in an area known for dangerous currents and frequent boat accidents. A Buddhist monk proposed an extraordinary solution. Instead of trying to control the river directly, workers would carve an enormous Buddha statue into the side of the mountain. The result became the Leshan Giant Buddha, one of China's most impressive ancient monuments. For decades, craftsmen worked with basic tools, slowly removing enormous quantities of stone from the mountain. But the statue contains more than impressive artwork. Hidden within its design is a sophisticated drainage system. Channels carved around different parts of the statue allow rainwater to escape instead of remaining inside the stone. This helped reduce moisture damage and erosion, allowing the monument to survive for more than 1,000 years. The construction also changed parts of the surrounding rock and river environment, helping influence the dangerous water currents. To many people, the result seemed almost miraculous, but from an engineering perspective, it demonstrates remarkable knowledge of water management, construction, and stone carving. Now imagine entering a mountain and discovering thousands of ancient statues carved into its interior. This is the Yungang Grottoes near Datong in Shaanxi province. Around 1,500 years ago, ancient craftsmen carved an extraordinary collection of Buddhist sculptures directly into the rock. More than 50,000 statues and carvings are spread throughout the grotto complex. What makes the site even more impressive is the way the caves were designed to deal with natural conditions. Ventilation, drainage, and the structure of the chambers helped protect many of the sculptures from moisture and environmental damage. And finally, we reach the extraordinary landmark we promised at the beginning. High above the city of Lhasa in Tibet stands the magnificent Potala Palace, a massive historical complex built on the slopes of a mountain. Its enormous white and red structures rise dramatically above the surrounding landscape, creating one of the most recognizable sights in Tibet. The palace contains thousands of rooms, halls, artworks, manuscripts, murals, sculptures, and historical treasures. But perhaps the most impressive question is how ancient builders managed to transport huge amounts of stone, timber, and other construction materials to such a difficult location. There were no modern cranes, trucks, or paved roads. Workers had to operate in freezing temperatures, at extreme altitude, and in an environment with very little oxygen. Yet they managed to create an enormous and durable architectural masterpiece. The structure also incorporates traditional construction techniques designed to cope with the harsh environment and seismic activity of the region. Inside the palace, centuries-old artworks and cultural treasures provide a remarkable record of Tibetan history. China, therefore, is far more than modern skyscrapers, bullet trains, factories, and giant cities. Beyond its modern image lies a vast world of ancient towns, sacred mountains, mysterious lakes, powerful waterfalls, monumental sculptures, and historic architecture. Some of these places look so extraordinary that photographs alone can make them seem unreal. And the most fascinating part is that these are only a few examples. Across China's enormous territory, countless other locations remain relatively unknown, each carrying its own stories, legends, and mysteries. The greatest wonders are not always the places that appear on every travel list. Sometimes, they are the forgotten or hidden places that have quietly survived for centuries, waiting for people to discover them. If you want to explore more incredible destinations, mysterious locations, and unbelievable wonders around the world, subscribe to the channel and join us on our next journey. Until the next adventure, goodbye.